All right. Good morning. Happy Friday, folks. Cooper the Red, thank you for the shot in the arm. Very much appreciate the support and love watching your channel. It's becoming a habit. I get up, taking my morning coffee with Cooper the Red on in the background. So thank you so much for the raid. Certainly, you have a fantastic stream over there, a nice community forming. Happy to have you all here. Those that may not know, my name is Chuck, also known as Basiclandshark here on Twitch. I stream for the most part modern content, and today I'm bringing to the table Bogles for a second day in a row. Who's that? Morgo Theon, thanks for diving into the Shark Tank. I appreciate the show of support there. We do a thing if you follow the stream, tell us your favorite card in Modern. And Isaiandus, thanks for diving in the Shark Tank as well. Appreciate the support. Be sure to tell us your favorite card in Modern. I'll go first. Mine is Colligan's Command, I think. Although it does kind of change from time to time depending on what I play. Typically a Jund player, I feel most comfortable behind Thoughtseize decks, but I do want to play something that's relatively easy to pilot, and I want to test out something new from the new set. So today that's going to be Detention Vortex out of Bogles. Let's read this one really quick. It sort of acts like a removal spell, at least temporarily, but one that we can buy back with Luris of the Dream Den. Enchant non-land permanent. Enchanted permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. So that actually affects Planeswalkers too. And I think this card is probably a little bit suspect. It may not be the greatest thing in the world for the deck, but I do think that it is somewhat powerful. It actually did work yesterday versus Amulet Titan, and it actually worked well versus some errant decks that we faced as well. But I think the main thing, we can buy this card back with Luris. You can't do that with a Path to Exile, and it actually hits non-creature permanents as well, so I have to see how much that matters. Bogles is for the most part solved, so that was one of the appeals to playing the deck. We don't have to, reinvent the wheel here. We're just trying out a relatively solved archetype with some new cards, just for fun and just to see how it goes. The sideboard is relatively all permanent based, sans the 2 copies of Path to Exile. That way our sideboard works well with our main deck, and can be rebought with Luris. No Mishra's Baubles in the deck. I think that card is kind of just air. Instead, I'd rather rebuy a Boggle or rebuy a Detention Vortex or one of our other enchantments. So let's go ahead and get started here. Don't want to keep everybody waiting. We'll do a league here with this deck. I'm going to do 1 league today and then hop off. It's kind of a pop-up stream. So I guess we can talk a little bit about the sideboard. I think Suppression Field has applications in the Heliod matchup. Gaddock Teague has applications versus Tron. Soul Guide Lantern, obviously, for graveyard decks. Can be bought back with Luris, so on and so forth. Seal of Primordium is our answer to Chalice of the Void. Card that we got kind of blown out by yesterday. Chalice and Blast Zone out of the E-Tron deck was quite a nightmare. We ended up scooping early. Veil of Summer for the blue and black based counter magic and removal and discard based decks in the format. Path just to augment our 2 in the main and 3 Detention Vortex. Creature removal sometimes comes at a premium. Alright, round 1, here we go. On the play, always a good way to start. Happy about that. Choose Luris as our companion. And we have a pretty good hand here. I think I'll keep this. got a good mix of creatures and spells. We can cast everything. What more could you want? We're on the play, so we don't have to worry about discard spells. This is a good hand. Bogles as a deck, very straightforward. Has a really consistent game plan if you can draw the right mix of cards. Same can be said about a lot of decks, but this one it's very important that you have a threat in your hand, otherwise it's a mulligan, generally speaking. So pretty straightforward turn one. We just want to play Razorverge Thicket and Gladecover Scout pass the turn. And looks like Tron, Chromatic Sphere. So this might be green Tron if I had to guess. Here we want to play Spider Umbra and Ethereal Armor. Attack for 4. So they cash in Ancient Stirrings, revealing Urza's Power Plant. Play that as their land for turn. And there's Expedition Map, so opponent will have Tron. Let's play Ethereal Armor, Daybreak Coronet, attack for 13, Lifelink, Reach, Vigilance. Got there. So kind of had the perfect hand there. We were just trying to race. For Tron, I like Gaddock Teague, Stony Silence, Seal of Primordium. Suppression Field is an interesting one, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough on the draw. I could be wrong. And what should we cut here? We can probably cut these 2 Grist Boons. They seem kind of like cards that we're less likely to draw. We'll cut the All That Glitters as well. And some of these Detention Vortex, but Detention Vortex is a pretty good answer to turn 1 Expedition Map if I had to guess. It might slow them down just enough. Maybe cut one of these Spirit Dancers. This seems okay. Maybe we can cut Spirit Mantle as well. And I'll keep in I think I might bring in an extra copy of Path for Wormcoil Engine. No, I think I want to try out the Tension Vortex. I think it's going to matter a lot. If we can hit an Expedition Map with one of those, then we're pretty much going to slow them down. Serves as a nice roadblock. Okay, another great hand. We didn't draw any of our sideboard cards yet, but I think this hand is too good to throw back. Our opponent's mulligan down to 4 cards, down to 3 cards. Okay, they kept a 3-card hand. Lead off with Power Plant. Here we'll shock in Temple Garden, play Scout, and pass. There's mine. Here we'll shock in Temple Garden. I think we'll play Hyena Umbra and Ethereal Armor. This will be a 4/4. And the Hyena Umbra we play to help us versus a removal spell of some sort, like Hexproof already kind of does that on its own. Alright, so we kind of drew the nuts versus them. There's really no way to sugarcoat it here. I think Ethereal Armor plus Daybreak Coronet is absolutely gonna do the job. Ethereal Armor, one of the best enchantments in the deck. Daybreak Coronet is the best enchantment in the deck, hands down. Hey, Wilt takes care of Daybreak Coronet. They still take 8. Ancient Stirrings finds an expedition map. And they scoop. So no time for them to go and search for Blast Zone with the expedition map. We got them. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a meta call, Isaiah. Like, I'm expecting to face other attrition decks, like Jund and Death Shadow a lot. And they lean on Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt, cards like that to get the job done. So kind of trying to play to the meta a little bit. That was one of those games where just everything came together quite nicely. Our hands were absolute gas. Here we're on the draw. We were also on the play last game, or the last match. That matters a lot with this deck. What's up, Stovetop? Thanks for the well wishing. Hey, I listened to your buddy's podcast. You sound like a rock star. Had to listen to 2 or 3 episodes, just skim through until I found one with you on it. Your voice carries well on the podcast, so good job there. Okay, we have the all creature hand. I think I'll ship this. And this is a little bit risky if we don't draw a second land, but everything is a 1-drop, so we'll keep. And I think we'll bottom the second copy of Vortex. And it's another Tron deck. This time they're on the play though, no expedition map. A lot of Tron going around right now. Yeah, I mean, if they chalice, then, you know, pretty much that's game. Another land. Absolutely gas. Attack for 4 here. And wouldn't you know, they have natural Tron. So they probably make a creature, I would think. Wow, it's a good turn. Good turn. Yeah, Blast Zone is really gonna hurt us here. Trying to think what the best course of action here is to get us out of this situation. So Detention Vortex. Unfortunately, they were able to put 2 creatures on the battlefield, and they have the mana to easily shrug off the Detention Vortex. We can Detention Vortex their Planeswalker. I'm not sure if it's worth it though. I think I'm gonna hit the Expedition map here. And it will probably take a second to read. And rather than casting Gladecover Scout or Hyena Umbra, because I think they're gonna blast it, they're gonna go get Blast Zone next turn. I think we just attack here. Yeah, I believe you're correct about that, Mad Cow. We should probably just go ahead and concede. If we throw in the towel here, we're saving time on the clock. They just have too many lines that end in Blast Zone. Yeah, I'll go ahead and concede. I don't think we're winning this game from this point. Not with these cards. So go gadget sideboard. We'll sideboard exactly the same way that we did last time. How do we feel about Suppression Field in this matchup? And what is it better than? It might be better than the third core spirit dancer. I guess we can try it out. Okay, here we don't have a Boggle. So this would typically be a mulligan. I can actually go get a Dryad Arbor here and beat down with that. But the problem is they play cards like Ghost Quarter. We do have Hyena Umbra. Alright, I'm going to do something unconventional. I'm going to keep a hand with no Boggle. Just for science here and try this out. This is probably supposed to be a mulligan, but I don't know. I don't have enough experience with the deck to know. Thanks, Giles. I'm figuring this is well positioned. I'm glad you think so as well. Okay, expedition map. I'm shaking in my boots. Let's get Dryad Arbor on turn 1. Sean! Thank you for boarding the submarine! Get in here and get your love! These are my hype hands! Thank you for boarding the submarine! I appreciate the resub. Yeah, I always heard that too. Agent Iconic. Nice name, by the way. But I want to try this out. It could be very wrong. Again, I don't have enough experience with the deck to know. But I kept it because we have Hyena Umbra. Maybe they'll be tempted to go get Blast Zone with the Expedition map and we'll hold them off Tron for a turn, but I doubt it. Another Expedition map. What do they get? Dismember? Oh, okay. I didn't even see that happen. I was looking at chat. Suppression field. Pass turn. And Chalice on 1. That puts the onus on us to find an answer to the Chalice. So we are a little screwed. I don't want to crack Horizon Canopy because my answer to Chalice is a 2-drop. Our answer is Seal of Primordium, and that's it. Alright, let's be honest, chat. We're probably losing this game. Now I think we're definitely losing this game. We're definitely... This has gotten out of control. What's up from the crypt? Happy Friday all around. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop this one up. Kind of got steamrolled there. Yes, the Bogles list that I went off of was playing 3 copies of Force of Vigor in the sideboard. Honestly, I have another deck rented right now, and I didn't want to uh, return that one to rent any cards for this deck. Otherwise, I might be playing that instead of Seal of Primordium. But the price difference, like one of those cards is a penny, and the other one is like over 10 tickets. And they do a similar thing. Seal of Primordium costs 2, and it can sit on the battlefield, and also can be rebought with Luris. So there's like pros and cons to both cards. You can't rebuy a Force of Vigor with Luris of the Dream Den, so it's not that much worse. I think it's defensible. The only card that's not really that I'm sold on is this Detention Vortex. I've already had somebody tell me that this card is straight up bad, don't play it. But we're here to find that out. Yeah, everything in our sideboard except for Path to Exile we can buy back with Luris, and I think that's a pretty smart way to have your deck built. Plus, if you look at it, we don't really run that many green cards. So, what are the odds that we can hard cast Force of Vigor? It's probably easier to cast Seal of Primordium than it is to cast a Force of Vigor for this deck. Yep, I mean, that's one of the risks when you sit down with a Bogles deck. We're playing over 31, we're playing exactly 31 drops. So we kind of get hosed by Chalice. We beat Green Tron in round 1, Sean, and then we just lost to a Green Tron in round 2. Uh, Unfortunately, I have to ship this hand. And this one. Okay, one of the main problems with Bogles is it does lose to itself. 3 cards go to the bottom here. Put the Vortex away. Put the All That Glitters away. And the Daybreak Coronet away. Leaving us with a 4/4 First Striker. Cavern on Snake. Okay, it's Amulet Titan. Was a little bit taken back by that. So if you ever see Cavern of Souls naming Snake, you'll know the Titan Menace is upon you. Damn it! Oh, I should have kept the Daybreak Coronet. Damn Sam. I like that logic. We'll just draw one instead. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. I'm honestly surprised that they blocked. So we might be staring down Titan this turn. Okay, Dryad. I was mistaken. Rancor and not the worst. Do we have any draws that would be better than just casting Rancor here? Probably not. Drawing Path to Exile is a legitimate thing. Leaving them with Dryad on the table is kind of risky, any way you slice it. So, survey says at 17 life, we might actually be dead here due to the sweet interaction between Dryad of the Illusion Grove and Valakuts. Our Boggle has hexproof. Jesus. Well, to be fair, they play something like close to 40 lands. Yeah. I should have showed chat what was coming next. So let's bring in Seal of Primordium here. And what else? Path to Exile, maybe? Just to have more answers to Dryad. Think we can cut all that glitters. Cut Grispoon. And the Spirit Mantle. So the real scary thing, nah, it's all good. Titan does what Titan does. More news at 11. What does Vortex do? It works as a removal spell that's also an enchantment. How's it going, Sharon Bound? Alright, I'll keep this hand. Maybe the Horizon Canopy will draw us into something useful. I appreciate you doing so. Another land off the top, kind of bad. Guess we can play Temple Garden Tapped here. Attack with our 2/2. Another Bogle. Gonna try and stay at a high life total. Ah, I should have played the planes. But I don't want to wait a turn, so kind of messed up there. I shouldn't have shocked. I should have played basic planes. All right. Cash in Horizon Canopy, looking for basically a Daybreak Coronet. Found Spider Umbra, not the worst. Put that on this Bogle. Attack for 7. Oof. Did not know that Titan plays Blast Zone. I guess it makes sense as they are a Lands Matter deck. So we need Daybreak Coronet here before they can do anything with Blast Zone. Path also not the worst. The problem is that I think it removes Slippery Bogle from the battlefield, even if it's got Hyena Umbra, because Hyena Umbra leaves the battlefield at the same time. So let's draw a card here. Rancor. Okay. Did I somehow punt? No, I don't think I punted. Just think we were not quite close enough. All right, shields are down. No surprises. There goes Blast Zone. And they made a copy of it with Fasufa? Oh my goodness. Hopefully we draw another 1 mana enchantment. Um, I guess I'm equipping Core Spirit Dancer here, hoping to draw another 1 mana enchantment to put on it. Okay, so we didn't. That means we probably lose now. Yeah, I guess attacking maybe wasn't the worst. Problem is I don't want to lose Core Spirit Dancer. Shit, we're gonna lose Core Spirit Dancer to the Valakut triggers, I think. Okay. So we just got wrecked. Don't think there's any way we can come back. Yeah, we're dead. They got us. Titan confirmed. Too strong. Let that be a testament to the power level of the deck. If you let the game go long versus Titan, they have the inevitability. We were at 35 life, I think. And they found the way. We have Griffspoon. I cut it. I cut it to make room for Path and Seal of Primordium so that we had answers to Amulet. They did that all without Amulet of Vigor. Holy shit. We have creatures and enchantments. I think this is a keep. It's not a great hand though. It's a little on the slow side for what Bogles is capable of. Third Tron deck. Pretty much that, Agent. Iconic. Well said. I'm gonna forgo the turn one scout and play Detention Vortex on Expedition map. Wall of Roots. Alright, I'm thoroughly confused. You could be right about that, Mad Cow Chicken. I don't know. I'm not an expert with Bogles by any stretch of the imagination. This is something. Something I've never seen before. I've never seen this start from a modern deck before. And they went and got another Urza's Tower, even though they have an Urza's Tower. I I don't know what's going on here. O-Stone. Alright, 7/7, first strike, lifelink, vigilance incoming. Wall of Roots does see play alongside Court of Calling more often than not. It would make sense to have X spells in a Tron deck, but why go get second tower when they already have tower? Maybe it was a misclick. Yeah, we're just gonna gain as much life as possible first. Dryer Sheet, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Okay, they have Gigantha. Hence the name. Is there anything better than the feeling of like clean sheets? So they have the second O stone. I was gonna say Luris is actually a real thing that we could do here. Let's pressure them with a Glade Cover Scout. Then all that glitters. Yeah, there's not many feelings fucking with clean sheets right out of the dryer. So they have to use O stone here. Go ahead and follow that up with one Slippery Bogle. One, two, three, four, five, six. Worm Spiral Engine. Okay, so we need a Path to Exile. Not a Path to Exile. Scoop. All the practice versus Tron. Apparently it's the only matchup that we're allowed to play today is big mana. Three Tron decks and an Amulet Titan deck. Can't keep this because we don't have a threat. Unless we get Dryad Arbor. Am I crazy for thinking that Dryad Arbor can get there with this hand? Wait, we have to use Windswept Heath. No, we won't be able to cast the Daybreak Coronet. We got the Mull. Mull this as well. Alright, we're losing to ourself. Oh, jeez. Do I keep the no land hand? Or do we go to 3? I think I keep this hand, hope that we draw a land. We're like 40% to draw a land. This is one of those times when we're just risking it for the biscuit. Risk it for the biscuit. Not an expedition map. We like that. Land off the top. Get some. Get some. Rewarded for the keep. All right, go ahead and detention vortex that wall of roots. And they have the third land, so they can just shrug it off, I guess. They opt to play Chromatic Sphere instead. They have another wall of roots here. Another star. All right. So they have Tron. And it's Ugin. I was hoping for Worm Coil since we had the path. I don't think our deck can beat a resolved Ugin. Yeah, I'm just gonna scoop here. I don't want to play this anymore. Alright, on the play. Choose Luris and we're off. I don't think I can keep the all creature Path to Exile hand. Let's ship this. And I will keep this one. I will bottom second copy of Rancor. Actually, no, maybe we'll bottom the Core Spirit Dancer since we can't cast it. Keep everything else. My last job, I was working full time, but it was way too physical. So um, I ended up not working that job very long. It was far too demanding. It was a warehouse job, and I wasn't cut for that life. Second land, sweet. Hyena Umbra and Rancor. Attack for 4. Opponent goes and gets Batterskull with Stoneforge Mystic. Alright, let's go ahead and Rancor up the Glade Cover Scout. And with 7 cards in hand, they obviously could have another land. I guess it's worth it to Detention Vortex the Stoneforge Mystic here while they're tapped out. Kind of questionable because we are missing out on a point of damage. And they did have the 3rd land. There's another Stoneforge Mystic. Getting Sword of Feast and Famine. And with that, I think we win, right? Ethereal Armor does the job. As long as they don't have Force of Negation here, we win. I know, right? We kind of got what we needed there. Um... How do we feel about Stony Silence for their equipment? They have Stoneforge Mystic to get around it. Seal of Primordium is a maybe. They're also running blue, so Veil of Summer Seems like an auto include. I have to imagine Spell Queller might be an issue for this deck. We just bring in these 5 cards. Okay. Think I'll cut Spirit Mantle. All that glitters. Maybe 1 Spirit Dancer. Perhaps we just want more Path to Exile. Less Seal of Primordium. Gives us answers to things like Skyclave Apparition, which Detention Vortex can't answer. I see your point. Okay, I think I'll snap this hand off. Our opponent's mulliganed from 7 down to 6 down to 5 cards. They lead off with a Colonnade tapped. That's a card that used to see a lot more play than it does currently. Okay, snow-covered plains here. Let's go for ethereal armor. And I think a Spider Umbra. Aether Gust. I'll top that. Good point. Fatal Push is like the most, probably one of the top played cards in Modern at this moment in time. Especially with Shadow being as dominant as it's been lately. It's got to be in like the top 5. Whoops, I made a mistake. I should have shocked that in. So missing out on a point of damage here, or 2 points of damage here. Spell Queller, sure. Attack for 6. This can't block anymore, so that means that we can't get back Spider Umbra. They can only shrug this off at instant speed. I can has spells, opponent? And they're attacking with the Spell Queller. Well, we kind of wanted that anyways. So I missed out on a point of damage again by not playing Detention Vortex on the Spell Queller before damage, or before combat. We don't even need the Daybreak Coronet. It was a good draw, but we don't even need it. And their creature couldn't block, so Detention Vortex, not as bad as it seems. Maybe, just maybe, the card should be worth more than a penny on Magic Online. There is a possibility that it has a home in this deck.